Hello, and welcome back to Imposter Women Podcast. It's your girl Mel here today, and I am taking a break from my maternity leave to bring you a solo show. Don't worry, my beautiful baby boy is at home with Nana while I record this for you today. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about creating print on demand books through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Some people call this Amazon KDP. Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is a fantastic way to make passive income online because it really takes minimal effort, and it's something that I've personally been doing for about a year and a half now with my motorcycle journal. Yes, I published a motorcycle journal on Amazon. I self-published this through Kindle Direct Publishing, and I published it in January in 2022. And really the idea came to me several months earlier. So I called my journal the Badass Motorcycle Journal because I wanted other women to feel empowered to ride motorcycles the same way that I had all those years ago. So when I had the idea to create this journal, I'd been riding motorcycles for a few years, and I started to set goals around my riding. So I would put down goals for like how many miles I rode every day, how many minutes, how far I went, and really what I started to see and feel along the way, because riding motorcycles is so much about the journey as it is just about, a mode of transportation. So I looked everywhere around for a cute journal that really matched the vibe of my motorcycle rides. But surprise, I didn't find any, so I decided to create my own. And it was around this time that I started to learn about print on demand books with Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. So I called my journal the Badass Motorcycle Journal, and you can check this out. It's on Amazon right now, everywhere in the world. And you can take a look at it to see how I leveraged Amazon KDP to make passive income online. So to find my journal, just search my name, Melissa Hussong, in the Amazon search bar to find it. Selling print on demand books is really an easy, super fun, creative way to make passive income online. It's super fun as well. I'm going to break down how I did this and how you can do it as well. So let's go back a little bit and just kind of talk about, what does print on demand even mean? It's kind of a phrase that seems simple, but there's a little to it. Print on demand is where you work with another supplier or a publisher, in this case, Amazon KDP, to print your book only when copies are ordered or an order is placed. So essentially, the printing of the book is not done until that money is transferred, that order is made. And this means it's great because this means you're not left with any surplus supply of the book or the product. And I love this because it's super low risk. You're not really investing a ton of money to get like 2,000 copies printed. You're not sending thousands of dollars to a printer to get this book that you're not sure will even sell anyway. So the risk is very low at the front. The cost is very minimal because you're not investing in inventory. And the other great thing is that you're leveraging another company's resources to do the printing for you. In this case, it's going to be Amazon KDP. Also, they do the distribution, and that is fantastic. They're going to send it directly to the customer, whoever orders and buys your book. So, a couple reasons that I love this. You save that money, and also because, it's such a creative process and it really doesn't take a lot of work at the front end, you can experiment and create several books online. So, for example, if you're really interested in youth adult fiction, maybe you want to publish a couple of books. Or maybe if you really love journals and you're a huge journaler, you can publish journals in a couple different niches and see what sells the best. And then when you kind of experiment and do that testing, maybe you say, well, this niche is really successful for me. I want to go deeper and create more products and books for that market. So it's essentially experimenting until you find a viable market and then going deep in that. The other reason that I really love this method, this model of business, is because Books are printed as they're ordered, so you don't have to offload any excess books in case your books don't sell. It's going to save you a lot of money. And Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is not new, it's been around for a long time. But the way I see it is it's really an evolution, a revolution, if you will, in self publishing books. Anyone in the world, and I mean anyone with an internet connection, literally can write a book and upload that file for purchase by anyone in the world. It doesn't get much better than that. And if you are an author, if you aspire to be a published author, I really see this as one of the best ways to get into the market and to get eyeballs on the work that you're producing. So let's look a little bit closer at exactly how you can make this passive income online by self-publishing with Amazon KDP. I'm going to break it down for you step by step based on my personal experience publishing my Badass Motorcycle Journal. This is all lessons learned and tips and tricks that I picked up in the process. So it is a first-hand example. It is based on my experience. So take what resonates with you. If it works, absolutely, by all means, go for it. If there are certain things that don't work as well, then by all means, do what you feel led to. So I want to just start with the idea that like everything in business starts with an idea. Your brain, your ideas are the most valuable things that you have. Do not underestimate what you are capable of. So a couple questions I'm going to throw out there are, what is on your heart? What do you want to publish? What do you want to share with the world? What is your message? And how do you want to package that? So what print product could you create that has a viable market? And by that, I mean, are there actually people out there who want to buy what you are writing? Whether that's a beautiful fiction novel, whether it's a memoir, like what is that message that you want to share? And also important is, does your book, is it solving a need that this community has? So you want to make sure that it's going to sell. And by really figuring out what your clients, what your customers, communities are looking for, if they have a need, you want to supply it with this book. And maybe that's just entertainment. And if that's the case, that's amazing. So a couple ideas, that you could publish on Amazon would be like children's books. Do you love to write children's books? Are you an amazing illustrator? Another thing, young adult fiction is really a booming market. Do you love journaling like me? And do you really want to publish a journal so you can help other people stay accountable to their goals and really stay focused on what they want to achieve? Maybe you've always wanted to write a memoir and share your really inspiring story. Get clear on what it is that you want to share with the world, and then go ahead and get started writing. The second thing involved in publishing on Amazon KDP is you essentially design a PDF file with your published work. So if it's a novel, it's going to have like just plain text as you would kind of open a regular book and see. If it's a journal, there might be certain spaces to write, maybe there's journal prompts. If it's a workbook, you want to leave some space there as well. So whatever it is, you want to design the PDF to make it visually attractive. And I personally, for my Badass Motorcycle Journal, I outsourced this part and I worked with my graphic designer friend to put a professional touch on it. I had the ideas in my mind, I sketched it all out for her. And what she did was she just went and found beautiful graphics and amazing fonts that I didn't have access to and made it look super classy to a point where I was so happy with it, and I would have happily have bought that myself, in a bookshop. So I'm super, super happy with how it turned out. Incredibly polished. And for more on that, I want you to check out my motorcycle journal on Amazon to see what it looks like. And you know what? I'm going to pull it out for you because I got it in my bookshelf, so stay tuned. So here it is. I'm holding up my Badass Motorcycle Journal, It's got all the different colors. It's a standard A4 page, and this size is optional. There are many sizes to choose from, but as I flip through it, I have a lot of different colors and spaces for people to write. You know, it is designed as like a daily reflection kind of journal page of the motorcycle rides that people do. So you can document places you go and all of that. In the start, I actually did a couple informational pages and a little goal page, some affirmations. And then what did I do at the front here? I had, kind of a letter from me just encouraging people to chase their dreams and achieve all of their goals. The very front page has a little bit of information, name, address, and then motorcycle, because you obviously want to know the motorcycle that you're riding and the goals that you have. So that's how I structured my book. And it is literally endless the options that you want to do, because it is your written product and you can just really get creative and super fun with it. So you're going to upload that file to the KDP website. You're going to select all the design elements like paper finish. There's going to be colors. There's going to be the texture of the page, the weight of the pages, so book dimensions. And then there are a couple different options for you, but Amazon sets it out really easily so that you can go through and actually understand, the settings that you're putting in. And then you're going to set your price. So Amazon does take a slice of the pie here. It's just the way business goes. They're producing your work and then they're shipping it, so they're going to take a cut of it. So what you want to do is, don't get discouraged. You just need to set your price high enough so that you're happy with the money that you're making from each sale. I'm going to leave it at that because pricing is a huge topic, but I trust that you will figure this out and price your book correctly. You're going to enter your payment information because you want to get paid, and then all your business details. There's also a description for your product that you're going to write. So this is, when you click on Amazon stuff, you'll see that there's always a description. There's a section for reviews. So you want to write this description in fun, catchy, attention-grabbing language that compels them to want to buy the book that you're selling. Again, you can check out the description for my Badass Motorcycle Journal on Amazon. The next step that I've got here is your book is going to be reviewed by Amazon. It takes a couple of days. So again, they're just going to kind of breeze through that PDF, make sure it looks good and everything is appropriate. And then the book is going to be available on Amazon.com and every single other Amazon website in the world. So I'm in Australia, so Amazon.com.au sells it. I know Amazon.ca over in Canada sells it. Every other Amazon website that I could look up will have my book available. And this is really cool. I'm so blown away when I get orders for my journal from other places in the world, because it's an amazing feeling knowing that other people in other places are accessing your work. The next thing is the customer is going to buy your book, and Amazon is going to print it for them and then send it to the address that they had in the order. It does not get any easier than that. And then finally, as I mentioned, you're going to get a percentage of the sale, and then Amazon is going to take their cut for printing and postage. But you will get your royalties sent to your bank account, and then you'll get some reports and emails from Amazon when all of that's complete. So you can go in and just check out like how much books you're selling, what are your total royalties, and all that stuff. I want to say that they have a really helpful pricing guide on how to figure out how you want to price based on what their cost is going to be for your royalties. I found this really helpful to figure out what I was going to price my journal as. And then the other fun thing is that because they publish on all these other different websites around the world, they're going to change that initial US price to the relevant currency. And I want to take a second here to talk about the benefits. I've highlighted a couple in our conversation so far, but I really want to tease these out because I think it's important to focus on what you can actually gain from self-publishing with print-on-demand products on Amazon KDP. So, my first benefit is this business model, this way of creating a product on Amazon KDP and selling it online is almost passive income. So, it's very minimal effort. It just requires creating a PDF of the book that you want to sell, and then it's going to be up on Amazon for anyone in the world to access. So I've made $100 plus months from the sale of my journal for zero effort. And I mean, not even advertising about it, not even talking about it. It's just people on Amazon finding my book. The second benefit I want to say is that you're selling this book online and you're leveraging Amazon and their online marketplace to do so. So this saves you by creating a website. You don't have to register for a payment portal. You don't need a URL. You don't need any hosting or domain fees and all the other several subscription-based services that you would normally require to kind of set up an online store. Instead, Amazon's done all of that for you. All you need to do is create the book and then start to talk about it and share it with your community. This is going to save a ton of time and money. It's really lowering the barriers to access to start making money online, which is why it's such a great model. You make money with almost zero money up front. I did hire a graphics designer. I didn't need to. That was optional. But since it is very little money up front, you don't have any inventory on hand. So if you're willing to write and design this book yourself, then you can self-publish your book for free on Amazon. And then you are getting your book out to service your community. So that's what it is all about. And by helping your community out, so say, for example, you already have a business, you're going to be able to round out your brand and the services that you provide by offering this complimentary product. So I have a lot of motorcycle-based content online, and by offering this journal, I'm helping my community with one more thing in that space. So it's just rounding out my product line. It's also diversifying my income stream, which is another great thing to do as a business owner. Okay, next up, I want to talk about tips, advice, lessons learned in the process of me publishing my Badass Motorcycle Journal on Amazon KDP. So, as I told you, I sketched out my initial design for my Badass Motorcycle Journal, and I outsourced the final design and production and the file upload to my graphic designer friend. For this, I paid around $400. And looking back, I totally could have done this myself. I could have done it on Canva by myself and saved a bunch of money. Now, this was a choice that I made because I really loved her work and she was my friend. I love supporting women-owned businesses. So that's why I decided to give her the job, and I don't regret it. But if you want to save money, you can start with a DIY design. You can upload it to Amazon KDP, sell the book. So this would be what I would probably do going back. Publish on Amazon KDP first, make money on that book, that journal, whatever, memoir. And then with that money, that profit, then you can go and upload the PDF later to make it a little more professional, so that the second edition, if you will, is a little more polished. I think that would be a lot more wiser use of money. As I'm talking this out, I'm like, I totally should have done that. But, lessons learned. And now it's useful because I'm telling you what I wish I did instead. So the second thing I want to highlight, this was a good lesson learned for me. You know that old saying where if you build it, they will come? And I don't know where that came from, but it's like an old saying and it's very common. But like if you build the cool thing, everyone's going to magically find out about it and then they're going to swarm you and buy all the things. Now, it's a cute saying, it's fun to say, but I will say it's not always the case in business. So, creating a resource for your community through self publishing is fun, it's creative, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to generate income. There is so much noise online right now, so much noise that there's probably billions of products on Amazon as we speak. And that means people aren't necessarily going to find what you're selling unless you start to talk about it and you start to market it. So, as with anything in business, you must be willing to sell it. So, this is, get comfortable talking about it. Share the benefits of your book. Share the story that your book represents and how it's going to inspire people. You want to let people know that you exist, that your book exists, and it's available on Amazon. So there's a whole world of Amazon ads that can help you do this, which I haven't personally explored. I do have a friend who has an Amazon store and she is a wealth of knowledge on that. However, you don't need to purchase ads. It's just about maybe post it on your Facebook page, let your family know about it, put it on Instagram, create a YouTube video talking about it, create a podcast episode talking about it so that the word is just spreading. So my marketing strategy mostly focuses on talking about my badass motorcycle journal on social media and in my YouTube videos and on my podcast. I link to the journal in the descriptions so that if someone does feel called to go and make that purchase, then they can. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So, no matter what the marketing strategy is that you decide on, make sure that it works for you and you feel comfortable with it. Because if you're not comfortable with it, you won't implement it and you won't do it consistently. So I know that your book is amazing. I know that the ideas you have are amazing because you wouldn't be watching this or listening to this if you didn't have an idea on your heart for publishing a book. You deserve these sales, and I know that you deserve some amazing profit from the book that you have on your heart. So go ahead and talk about it. People want to support you. And selling books on Amazon, it's a great way to make passive income online, which we're all, chasing. And it's done with print on demand publishing. So whether you do decide to publish a memoir or a journal or a children's book, a workbook, or anything else you feel called to write, it is absolutely available to you. And the barriers to actually getting published are very, very low these days. So if you feel called to become a published author, but you feel a little stuck, like you need a bit more clarity on what your message is, on how best to communicate your message, then you can always reach out to me for coaching on how to tap into your potential, how to find your purpose, find your story, and release any limiting beliefs that are holding you back to really stepping into that person you want to be and to take that daily action towards your goal of making that passive income. So you can go ahead and check out my website, www.herhandlebars.com/coaching, for more information on how you can get started and how I can help you with that. Another thing is you can always grab a copy of my Badass Motorcycle Journal on Amazon as an example of how I became a self-published author firsthand by leveraging Amazon KDP to supplement my income and serve my community and make that passive income online. This is an example. By all means, go and check it out, have a read, take what works for you, and just look for some inspiration for your next book. So, darlings, I really hope this episode has helped you understand what print on demand means and how you can get started with Amazon KDP. Making that money online can be super easy. It's fun, it's creative, and it has minimal effort involved. So if writing is your jam, then you might want to look into print on demand publishing with Amazon KDP. So until next time, keep chasing your goals unapologetically, and I will see you soon.